My name is Marc Lipson. I teach in the Darden Business School's Core Finance program. I'm also the course head for the finance program, so I'm responsible for designing the curriculum for that program. I want to talk about our last and most important module in that first year finance curriculum. That's the module where we look at enterprise level valuation. This is where we value whole firms. The major difference, of course, between enterprise valuation and most project valuation is a careful dealing with terminal values. An enterprise goes on forever, and we must deal with the fact that there are future cash flows that might extend beyond the planning horizon. Now, in that context, we address issues related to terminal value through cash flow and terminal value estimation with multiples. That module is focused on 4 cases. The first of those 4 cases is Hope Enterprise. This case lays out the basic framework. Hope Enterprise is a merger case. It is a merger where there is a simple valuation of a company in the gaming industry. We lay out the need to forecast free cash flow over the planning horizon to generate some estimate of terminal values. In this case, the focus is on estimating terminal value using future cash flows and the steady state valuation model. That lays out the basic issues also associated with mergers and acquisitions, the sharing of synergies and the generation of synergies. The second case in that module is the Crocs case. This is a new case for us. In this case, we really deal with the issues surrounding growth. Now, Crocs was a superstar growth phenomena, but it had a stumble in its stock price to the tune of 39%. And the question then facing an analyst at that time is, how could the world have changed enough to justify that kind of a startling change in the value of Crocs? Through that question, then, we address the issue of how does growth impact valuation in general. And the insights provided from that case include the fact that growth in and of itself does not generate value unless there are supernormal margins associated with that growth. So we really get to tie the concept of growth to the concept of value creation. And what you find as you go through the Crocs case is, in fact, the things that created the decline in the stock price might not have been a stumble in growth as much as a realization that Crocs may have burned out as a brand, and this would lead to a lowering of margins, and hence all that growth may not be able to generate the same kind of value that it had prior to the stock decline. So that case allows us to deal with growth. The third case there is JetBlue. Now, this is an IPO case. So again, with an enterprise valuation perspective, we are going to deal with the major enterprise types of events, IPO being one of the most important. In the JetBlue case, again, it is a firm level valuation. But in this case, there's a tremendous amount of uncertainty about how one might approach the valuation. And in this case, we focus on the use of multiples. We've seen multiples in the Hope case. We've seen multiples in the Crocs case. But the JetBlue case is where we really dig down deep into the concept of multiples and address the issue of when a multiple is going to be appropriate for evaluation. So in the JetBlue case, we have a number of airlines with different characteristics, and we can use their multiples to develop an estimate of the value for JetBlue. Some of those are young, exciting, growing startup companies with very high multiples. Some are established companies with lower multiples. The question then is, which multiple is the right multiple? The fourth important case in that module is our BPAmoco negotiation case. Now, this is also a merger and acquisition. Again, the focus is on synergies. But now we really raise the bar and the challenges to our students because we say, yes, you have the tools and techniques, go out and value BP and Amoco. But now you are going to be put in a situation where you have to actually negotiate the terms of the merger, and you have to think about sharing those synergies between you. So we actually conduct negotiations, the students conduct negotiations, and then we bring them back into the classroom and we go over the results of those negotiations. So we get to see how the mergers and acquisitions are actually implemented and how the terms of those mergers and acquisitions are arrived at.